Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for April 29th through May 5th, 2019. So let's take a moment to breathe, to connect in with our higher self and God. And to just be aware of the information that is surrounding you. And you can connect to your intuitive information by really paying attention to your body. There's a lot of information that our body is reporting back to us and helping us to especially find alignment with our higher self. So the body is an instrument it's an instrument of the frequency of light. This is what they're writing out, so they're interrupting my thoughts here. And so what this does is that the light of your soul is flowing in different frequencies throughout the body. And when you notice that your body, say for example, needs rest, or it needs they're writing the word flesh, as if you feel certain things or desires or impulses, and they're writing out the word that we tend to suppress these things. We end up suppressing a lot of this information. We numb it out, if I can say it that way. Or we are too caught up in our minds, and that we get fixated on a problem or something, anything. The mind fixates, and so it can get distracted and cause you not to pay attention. Is another flip side to this same idea, to cause you not to pay attention to the information that your body is picking up as it's reading these frequencies of light from your spirit, from the desires and prayers that you're offering. So you're always offering and receiving signals from the divine. There is no real interruption in that communication. Your mind may not focus upon it or open or expand enough to be aware of it, but it still is always going on. And this is what they want you to write in the word faith. They really want you to have faith in this, that there is no disconnect. And Archangel Azrael is coming through, and he's giving me sort of a sense of a healing. And he's just wrote the word human. So it felt like humanity. There's a healing taking place in humanity. And he's giving me a sense that it's sort of rough right now. And although it's rough, he's saying that you need to have faith in this, and that you need to find ways to laugh more. This is what he's writing out. You need to find ways to have more fun, to let things not get next to you, because that also disrupts or takes your mind away, or it's a way of fixating on problems and not paying attention to the solutions that are flowing between you and the universe, because it's always offering a solution, not to every problem that you see, but it's always offering solutions for you. There's a lot of things that are right for you in the moment, and they may not directly relate to fixing the things that you want them to fix, whether it's within yourself or things outside of ourselves that are out of our control, that are happening around us. But when you focus on the solutions that are being handed to you, the solutions that are being communicated through you, the solutions that are being presented in response to the signals you've offered, then you are in a better place, a better position, a position of advantage to create better, to create shifts, right? Not the word spin, and I'm not quite sure why, but I guess it shifts the way you see things, your perspective. The more that any of us, the more that any of us individually realizes the potential of our faith. So it's sort of like when you do this thing they're describing, when you pay attention to those signals of solutions and answers that are coming, that are being exchanged between you and the universe, it increases your faith. It increases your faith in God. It increases your faith in yourself and the ideas and the desires, the dreams, the goals that you have. And when this happens, this creates a huge shift, not just for you, but for others. Because, and they keep writing the word faith and light, because the more that you nurture, you foster your faith, the more expansive becomes your light. And the more expansive your light is, the more power, the more influence you have over the entire human family. Even though you may not be directly fixing the things that you see, but you're offering a better solution, which is sort of related to the fix, but it's a solution. Because some things that, when we want to fix something, sometimes those fixes aren't sustainable to be a solution. They're just a means towards, but not the actual. And so when you nurture your faith and therefore expand your light, you have the greatest power, the greatest influence to attract, to draw towards not just yourself, but the entire planet, the solutions that will really allow the love, the peace, the abundance that we want for the earth. They're right, not the word earth, for Mother Earth, for each other. So the things that you're worried about are resolved, or the solutions, the answers are in your faith and the light that grows out of your faith. So just for a moment, because I feel like I could just keep going on with words, but let's take a moment to connect in terms of our imagination and a visualization where you just imagine your faith, you're listening to those signals, and your faith is growing. Because it's not because you always receive what you expect, but it's because of following your guidance. You discover things that you just had no idea that they were possible for you. And this aligns you with such a deep feeling of love, of unconditional love, a desire to give, to open up your heart, to explore, to express, so that you're not holding in, you're not suppressing anymore, but you're radiating the very essence of freedom. And that freedom is the fuel of that light. And now this light is offering this vibration of love and freedom. And you're like a magnet. And just imagine all the things that are drawn towards this light. And the larger your faith, the larger your light, the greater it is to magnetize this kind of freedom and love to our planet, to anchor this into the planet, to anchor this into the consciousness, to have that kind of influence, so that when you, whatever it is that you do, wherever it is that you go, you activate this for yourself and for others. And you activate this influence within your own life and sort of a flow. Now, I don't mean for you to get into some fantasy that there will not be any contrast, that you will not have challenges. This is not the point of this, of any of this. This is not the point of, I hope this is not what you believe is the point of embracing your spiritual path, embracing your own spirituality. By embracing your spirituality, you're opening yourself to this wisdom, this library of consciousness and understanding that allows you to not be in resistance to the contrast, the variety, but be open to the possibilities that it allows you to create, to express, to reach this place where you feel free no matter what is going on, to be that kind of light, to be that kind of influence in the midst of the contrast that is occurring. So this is what I feel is so really important, that we can see our lives through a whole different lens, where we're not oppressed by the variety, by the diversity, by the contrast, but we are inspired by it. Okay? So let's just tune in and see. And just before the reading, in my meditation, Archangel Michael was coming through, and he was writing the word power, as if this week there's just a tremendous amount of power. He wrote the word leap, as if that this sort of this centralization of you being aware of your spiritual power and making great strides, almost leaping ahead in some way. Now, it depends on where your mind goes. And when we think about power, we think about control. And I really believe this is about harmony, clarity, that this is about feeling empowered by love, that you are not you're not resisting what's occurring, that you're embracing the challenges. You see it as something to move you to the next position, to the next level of your spiritual growth, and there's a way to help you to progress to the next step, and whatever it is that you are focused upon, whatever it is that you're feeling strongly about, and that you feel called to serve in some way. So that there's this feeling of development and moving forward, but feeling empowered, feeling free, because that's real power. Think about that for a minute. to feel free. That's power, right? Because when you feel powerless, you don't feel free. You feel like you're being controlled. But real power should be, the association should be freedom, so that all of your actions, when you are aware of this feeling, that you are respectful of this for everyone else, especially that's involved in whatever it is that you're choosing to do, that you're giving them this, that you're empowering them with freedom, a sense of freedom, and to embrace that as power, so that we don't, when we honor something like this word freedom, we take it for granted. But when you truly recognize that you feel this way, you want everybody else to have it. You are respectful of others, and you don't want to use your power to control somebody, or to control someone, or to manipulate them into doing what you feel is the right thing. So you're coming from this place of power. So I get a sense of, if there's anything that you're trying to do and trying to influence change, you want to come from an influence of freedom. If you're going to use your spiritual power, you're going to cash it in, make sure that you use this freedom, that you offer whatever you reveal to people, or you reveal to others, and the ways that you help them, empower them through freedom, a sense of freedom. Okay, let's take a look at the card from the Archangel Oracle. And we've had this card recently, and so it comes up again. And this card is Archangel Azrael. And this says, hello from heaven. Archangel Azrael watches over souls and helps them to cross over. He also, can help you. I think we had Archangel Azrael last week with a different card, the card Comfort. And so he also can help in comforting your soul. And he has a sort of an eggshell white aura, which this very soothing, it's sort of, you think of sort of almost like an eggnog, or it's very soothing, and you can call upon his energy to help you if you're grieving, or if you're stressed, or a problem is really overwhelming you. You can call upon him, and his energy, this energy can envelop you in your heart and your mind, and sort of just soothe, kind of calm down those energies. Just sort of think of, maybe when you were a kid, somebody giving you a little warm glass of milk to sort of help you sleep or to feel better. So it's that kind of energy that he brings forward. And the card message says that your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. And so I'm not quite sure if I'm getting something specific about this, but this can, for those of you who are listening, and you may have at this time some thoughts about a particular loved one, and just know that loved one is with you, or you may have several loved ones that you're thinking about. Also know that they are, and I'm just seeing a window. So windows are symbols for me of opportunities opening up for you, and know that that your loved ones are actually very capable of guiding you, or at least helping you. They want to do as they always have wanted the best for you. And now that they are free, talking about freedom, they can really just help you, nudge you, give you sort of little hints to walk in directions that are they see are going to be helpful to you. So I know, like, when my mom passed, I immediately, I mean, I'm talking like within days, a, a lot of, she created a lot of little opportunities for me. And I know that she was working with, the angels to do that. And I knew she was there, and because I could feel her love and her support. I really understood when my mom passed what a parent's love really is, the magnitude of it. I'm sure that anyone else who's lost a parent probably understands exactly what I'm saying, because it's not the same when you lose any other relative or any other friend. It's very specific, and you feel it. It's very specific, and it's a unique signature. The love that they start to shelter around you, and the caring. You it's like, I got it. Like, all that, her whole lifetime, I got why is she, wanted me to do this, or kept on me about this or that. You got it. You could feel the love. Sometimes when they're with us, we see them telling us that we're not doing the right things, or that we're not living up to their expectations. But it goes way deeper than that. And it's sort of like to say, don't judge a book by its cover, and we just do. We don't get our parents, and we don't get ourselves either. So, and they do see us, and they do love us, even if they, I know some people don't have great relationships with their parents, and that's understandable. But on some level, a parent can't help but love you, even if they don't know how to express it. The love is still there. Even if they don't do the right things, it's still there. And it's something that was very clear to me. My mother was wonderful throughout my life, but I don't know, like, you just take it for granted. And so it really clicked in. So just know that your loved ones are just giving you this wonderful sort of signal of hello, and letting you know that they are blessed, and they are well taken care of, and they just want you to be happy. They want you to find fulfillment, and they want you to feel the love that they rest within. They live in this state of unconditional love, and they want that for you. And so you will feel that empowerment, that freedom, that energy of freedom that they feel. And this is what they want you to feel. And maybe this is sort of what all of heaven is just bringing to us today, is this sense of freedom. And only you can allow yourself to have that, okay, by not focusing on things or fixating on things that don't bring you a sense of power. That it actually, like when we talk to ourselves, we say a lot of negative things, and that doesn't empower you. It decreases your power. It lowers your power through negativity. So try to step away from those things, and because they create that mental distraction where you're not paying attention to those signals. And try to be more in your body this week, and if you can, in your meditation, really just try to pay attention to your body, and let go of any negativity or any pain as much as you can. It's hard to let go of pain, because we associate it with something going wrong, and that freaks us out even more, and we fixate. But just try to breathe it out, or do something that's relaxing, or that you're passionate about, that's just, if it's art or some kind of hobby that you enjoy doing, do that. That is an active meditation. But the idea is to be aware of your body, to let go, and then be aware when you're moving and interacting around other people. Be aware of the information that's coming into your body, and don't always assume, because I made that mistake in the beginning of my life, thinking that everything that I was feeling was actually me, and like my problem, like something I was creating, when I was actually just very sensitive and very intuitive, and I was picking up on other people's energy, and I didn't know it until well into my adult years. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is the Mystic Monday Tarot. And so this is a card about taking in the blessings that you've reached a point and where you can start to enjoy, where things are starting to find its own rhythm, where things can start to sort of function on its own merits. Okay, and so one of the things that's not in this card, but it's in the original tarot card, is a little snail, and she's standing in front of this vines of grapes that's all ripe and ready for consumption, but that little snail is there in the bottom of the card. You can't see it, and there's a lot of, and so there's that thing where it doesn't mean to just ignore, because if you do, things like that can creep in, but it's the idea that you don't need to be so worried about things, that you can relax a little bit and take in everything that's occurring for you and sort of enjoy. So get in a sense, because even if you find yourself, because this is a card about finances and things like this, or something in your work, or something, having enough resources or possessions or material things, even though you may say to yourself, well, I'm not in this place. I'm not in this card has, this is not my life right now. I wish. But the thing about it is that in order to reach this point, you have to, even though you have limited resources or time, you have to create some space within the parameters of your means. You have to create the space where you're able to enjoy a little bit. You know what I mean? You got to do something that you got to reward yourself, because you just can't be always working, or you're really never really going to reach this. And you can reach it, but you may not enjoy it. And that's the thing. It's about that idea about beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. When you treat yourself a certain way, no matter what your circumstances are, you will still continue to treat yourself that way. It's sort of like, I've always noticed, if I've gained weight, if I lose weight, I always know when I've gained and never realize when I've lost. It's not until I look back and I see pictures and I go, my God, what was I saying to myself all that time? I should have enjoyed it. I should have been happier when I was, it's the same thing. Even with finances, the great example is my mother, who didn't have a lot, but my mother did more with what she had than most people. She enjoyed herself. She went wherever she wanted to go, but because she had a faith, she didn't allow her means to hold her back. She prayed about it, and things would come, and she planned, and she was able to do most of the things that she wanted to do, travel with a very limited income. And so I always say that you can be, how do you say this? You can be rich and poor in mind. You can be rich and rich in mind. You can be poor and poor in mind. You can be poor and rich in mind. And that's what really makes the difference here. So it's how you see things. And if you're feeling like you're limited, and then you have a limited means and you feel limited, well, nothing's going to change there, right? But if you find a way in that limitation to see yourself as blessed, and have faith to enjoy within the parameters of your means, because sometimes people like this, when you're poor in mind and spirit, you really restrict yourself. You restrict yourself even further. So I'm spending a little bit too much time on that, but I really need you to get that, okay? Because this card is really saying that you need to see the blessings. You need to enjoy what you've accomplished thus far. So you don't have to be necessarily have reached the wealth, but you've accomplished something in your work or in your home, something you've accomplished in your physical life that you need to relax about and start enjoying it in order for it to increase, in order to attract more opportunities along the lines that you are now working on or working towards. Okay, so now we have the High Priestess. And so when the Major Arcana cards come up, this is like, okay, this is what we really need to pay attention to. This is the huge shift that is occurring in our life. This is something that's really a major situation that is really in our lives, and it's creating has a huge amount of influence, and it is creating a great deal of the shifts that you're experiencing. So this card is about, tapping into that, your intuitive guidance, your instincts, and being more aware. And this card is perfect because this is what we've been talking about in the talk before, about this awareness, paying more attention to your body. And with the Pentacles card here, this may be saying to listen, not only to listen to your body, but also pay attention to the things that are positive in your life, to be aware, to shine shine a spiritual light on those things, to increase abundance, to achieve the abundance of this, to increase that, to really start paying attention. And you can really tune into your body. Your body is a receptive for all pleasure. And so think about some things that you can do that you physically enjoy, that give you pleasure, and start using that as a point to expand, to kind of get you out of that negative sort of slump. Okay? All right, let me just take a look at the card for the end of the week. And this is a Three of Pentacles, and what I really like about this card is it's very minimalistic, as this deck is, but this idea of connection, this exchange, this collaboration, working together, the energies flowing from one to the next. It's, there's no limit the kind of signals that can be received and exchanged and sort of expressed within this field, containment field. So for me, the triangles or pyramids about manifestation, moving. You start here, of course, and then you move up until it becomes more focused. So here, what you want to do is really pay attention to the projects that you're working on, and also the collaborations that are coming out of it. So this is a good opportunity to pay attention to something that's budding for you, and starting to notice how it's starting to take off. But the thing is that it's happening because of a network that you have. Okay. And so if you don't have a network, then this is a good opportunity for you to start creating one, to start allowing one. Not to just sort of, well, here's another thing. You want to intuit. So you want to be, aware, like, of the signals that you get when there are people who come into your life that you feel this really strong vibe with, and you feel like that this is the person. Like, you'll just know, and you'll know because you will not go around asking people if this is the right person to do the job. You will know, and you will act on it. Do you remember those moments? Because they don't always happen, but when they do happen, like whether it's a financial thing, you say, I can't afford this, but there are some things that no matter what your situation is, this is the right thing to do, and you just do it. You don't take a moment to ask somebody if you should or should not do this. You just do it. Or if it's a class you take, you don't just think about it and go talk to your friends like, should I do this? And then you just do it. And this is the kind of thing when your intuition is speaking up and really giving you that sort of security and that clarity. So pay attention to, when your intuition, or when you feel in your gut and your body that this is it, you just got to do this no matter what. Trust that, okay? Go for that. So if there is something, and this is sort of just was coming to me, if there's something related to a project and there's something you really want it to do, but it's a little out of your price range, it's a little, it's just stretching it a little bit, and that's not a whole lot, but a little bit, and you feel like there's a strong connection, and it's just going to open some other doors for you. You're going to meet other people, and it's going to be worth it. Do it. Trust this. Okay? This is your intuition is helping to establish this, drawing this whole thing together for you so that you can move on to that next step. You may not know what that next step is, but you just know deep down that this is it. So this is a leap of faith. We've been talking about, these words have come up a lot. And this is what they're asking you to do, to take that leap of faith, to trust the connection, trust that you just feel that there's a lot of energy, a lot of connection, that there's just going to be infinite possibilities. Because within this triangle, you see these 3 points, but it's just infinite. The exchange back and forth and so forth, it's just infinite. And and when you have that sort of a sense, although it may just be a little bit out of your outside of your resources, the parameters you have set, go for it anyway. Take that leap of faith. Okay. Again, it's going to have that feeling of freedom. It feels like it's just going to bubble up, and you're going to just feel like, I got to go for this. But then you may have that thing like, should I? Oh my God, should I really do this? And you start thinking, forget that. Okay, because when you feel that bubbling up as if things are rising, that's the momentum. That's the divine opportunity. So it's going to come back to you what you need, because there's already enough flow going there. So you don't need to hold yourself back and doubt whether or not it's the right thing. Okay, and this card makes sense, which is the 8 of Wands. And this is about, some kind of opportunity or messages, but the thing about this is that fast movement, and notice it's going towards the sun, so it's this energy, and sort of what I was just describing, that welling up and just moving right very quickly into something. So this is going to be time sensitive, is what I'm kind of hearing. It may be something that's a little time sensitive. Maybe you don't have a lot of time to think about it, and you just got to trust your gut and just go with it. The idea is just do that. Go with it. It's going to be something that leads to success for you, more opportunities for you. That, the sun is a symbol of power, success, vitality, energy. So this is and this card just feels that when these wands are flying through the air, there's that sense of freedom again, right? So this is going to somehow break up that energy where you've been feeling sort of oppressed by something, by your circumstances or conditions. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for joining us. And if you're looking for an angel reading, you can contact me at theangelschool.com, which you can find that link below. And don't forget to join us for the Facebook daily card messages, which you can find on Twitter, or the link below for my Facebook page. So everyone have a beautiful and blessed week.